Hey everybody, this is Perch. Okay, calm voice, very straightforward. Here we go. So let me read you this email. And what I'm going to read to you is not uncommon. But at the same time, when I say it's not uncommon, it's far from the majority. Most of you do not think this way. Most of you do not have this impression. And I'd like to believe that most of you would believe that this email is a bit of an exaggeration. And, just but well, let's take your temperature and see what you think. Um, yeah, why not? Here we go. It says, "Hey Perch, the reason why everyone hates you is because you constantly carry water for comic companies that deserve to die. If I was in charge right now, everyone at Marvel and DC would be fired and charged with criminal negligence for what they've done to the company. I'm not joking when I say that when I wake up and I see bad news, it makes me happier. That's the only joy that Marvel and DC and these communists are giving me right now. I know some of you may think this is a joke or a troll, but it is not. And you are stupid if you don't think most of us feel this way. This is what's wrong with American comics, which are broken beyond repair, and I'm here for it." I'll explain more in a minute. Go fuck yourself, and then that's how they ended it. So, look, that's a little crazy, right? You guys, you have to understand why I can't get behind that sentiment. That sentiment it's too much. No matter how I look at it, no matter how frustrated I am, and again, I've used this example before, and it's like people don't listen. I have been collecting the X-Men since the beginning. No, I wasn't alive at the beginning, but I went back and I bought all those issues, and I have an unbroken run of the X-Men. Now, when I say unbroken run, it doesn't give me the unbroken part doesn't really give me pleasure. What gives me pleasure is the fact that I've got big long runs in this comic that I truly love, that have been great, that have told amazing stories that are in my mind that I'll carry forever, and I like them. Happy memories. The other cool part about these stories is I have memories of where I was reading these stories. Like when the X-Men went to Genosha for the first time, I remember it was like summer, and I was hiking up in the Rocky Mountains, and I was having a great time. It was really, really great. And I ruined those comics because there's no way to store a comic properly when you're hiking around the mountains, but I have that memory in my mind. It's a good one. And, so I have good feelings toward all this. Do I like the current Krakoa era of the X-Men? Absolutely not. I think it's dreadful. I don't enjoy the stories. They're awful. Should I keep buying them? Well, I mean, the auxiliary titles, no. And I don't. The core X-Men run, I've continued with it. I've continued with it as much as several of you have said, I'm part of the problem. I'm not. Or I'm stupid for doing so. Hey, it's my money. I'll do whatever the fuck I want. But that doesn't mean I'm happy or thrilled about where things currently are. It's clearly not good right now. I also have confidence it will get better. I have confidence it will get better because I've sat through and lived through bad runs of the X-Men before and good runs, and everything comes around one way or another. Maybe I will die one day with the X-Men never getting better. And if so, again, that's my problem. That's not your problem. But despite the fact that I find the current run and current era of these comics that I love dreadful, I can't wrap my head around, waking up every morning and feeling better if there's bad news? That's super weird. Honestly, that's strange. At that point, it starts to feel like the comic company, in this case Marvel or DC or whoever, it feels like the comic company came into your house and murdered your dog. You're feeling it's like we're into John Wick territory of like true damage done. And I know that for whatever reason, this statement has triggered people, and it is triggering. Okay, so if you're one of those, like, you like to call out, snowflake behavior, this is absolutely snowflake behavior. Look, if you are so pissed about all this, you are holding on to a grudge that is weird. And no, just like I said in the other video, the creators are not thinking about you every night. They are not. They have largely moved on with they're doing their own thing, for better or for worse, whatever that thing happens to be. They are not sitting there, dreaming up new ways to personally make you pissed. Now, what they do dream up might make you pissed, but they're not sitting there going, how can I piss off Jordan6348 at gmail.com today? They're not doing that. Do they just writing the shitty stories and some of these crappy storylines piss me off? Of course it does. I would like to read a good comic, but I can say I'm frustrated with this comic. I can say I'm not going to buy it anymore. I have to raise this because a lot of kind of the same people who are doing this behavior are the first ones on Twitter to go, it's not an airport. You don't have to announce your departure, to people who say they won't, be part of Elon Musk's Twitter. Well, same thing is true with comics. We don't need to hear every half hour that you're not giving your money to Marvel and DC. We remembered it from the last 40 times you said this. We're good. We're all good. Just don't give your money to them. Just don't give it to them and move on. Again, what I'm reacting to is this extreme hatred. And it's not in everybody. It's not even in, I would say, 5% of the readers. It's a tiny, tiny group. I truly don't understand this group. I don't. I have to assume this group is, as what's been said by a lot of people, lying. Or this group is exaggerating. Or this group is letting their emotions get away with them or trying to get attention. I have no idea, but it's weird. If any part of you wake up in the morning hoping for bad news and it makes you happy, and that's kind of what you live for, Jesus Christ, get help. Seriously, full stop. That is not normal. That is not how, you should behave with comics. And unfortunately, there are, a decent number of people who take this approach. And it's weird. None of that is good for you. I mean, quite bluntly, screw comics and the creators and the publishers and everything else. That's not healthy for you. When I see somebody saying, hey, this comic was garbage, I can't take it anymore, I'm not going to spend my money on it, I'm happier now. That's a good outcome. And this is coming from a guy who's a retailer, who's sold comics. What is pathetic, and it's I blame the handful of YouTubers who said this. And just to erase all doubt, I don't believe Zach has ever said this, but I would absolutely say it's bullshit if he has. But sometimes people come in and it's like, oh, Perch is trying to defend comics because he's a retailer. So that is not how it works. And if you think this collection of videos, these thousands of videos, is a ringing endorsement of the current system in the big two, you are out of your mind. Trust me. The publishers and a lot of the owners of these people. I mean, I'm the one who's come on here saying Jim Lee, David Gabriel, a lot of these people need to go. Dan Buckley, they are absolutely not helping. Start at the top. So you think that point of view is some kind of deep op to get you to buy comics? You're fucking crazy. And by the way, for all of you people listening who are like, man, Perch sounds upset here, I wonder what I could do. Because several of you ask for time to time, how can I help? Here's one way you can help. The next time you see one of these comments from these jackasses that says that this is some kind of weird, deep state plot to get you to buy comics from Marvel, when I'm saying that the heads of those companies should be fired, please point out that they're dumbasses. While you're giving the like to whatever dumb shit Mumbles has posted, throw some support there. Because come on, we have to live in a reality world, not this other crazy place we've been. It is healthy for you. I mean, to erase all doubt. If the comics aren't making you happy, if you don't enjoy them, you're under no obligation to buy them, and you shouldn't. Don't buy things that are intentionally going to piss you off. And look, I'm giving myself that advice. When I pick up a copy of Jerry Duggan's X-Men and it's just ass in there, I think to myself every single time, is it worth the aggravation I'm feeling right now to keep buying this comic, putting it in a bag and board and storing it in a long box? Is it worth this aggravation? Because I feel pretty aggravated right now. This isn't healthy. You should steer away from unhealthy things. Do I want to, do I want to have my blood pressure spike, high enough from being pissed off at this comic that I'm, threatening a heart attack? I mean, how pathetic would that be? Perch dies from heart attack being pissed off over X-Men. That would be a pathetic death. I don't want that. You don't want that. Don't buy the comics that are making you insane. If some part of that is somehow trying to reverse psychology, I mean, what do you think that somebody's going to listen to that and go, I'll show you with your shitty audio, I'm buying more Marvel comics now. And that's, do you think that's the evil plot that's going on here? Just don't buy the fucking comics. I for whatever reason, and again, I find Kelly Sue DeConnick, and I've met Kelly, I've hung out with Kelly, I've had dinner with Kelly and Matt. Okay, I find Kelly insufferable, unpleasant to be around, just not a happy time. Absolutely not. Nothing good about it. I just not a human being that's fun to be around. Okay. I think her advice, it's been played in a lot of videos, like, if you don't like my politics, don't buy my books. 100% right. She is right. This is one of the smartest things she's ever said. Agreed. That is common sense. Now, why people get all pissed off, it's the bitchy way she says it. And I get it. I mean, she sounds obnoxious as hell, the way she says it. Totally understand. But it's still the right advice. Don't seriously. If you don't like, and here's the thing. This is the part where Kelly Sue's advice is not good or could go farther. I'll give better advice. And here it comes. If you don't like something about the comic, the creator, the color of the cover, the staples that are used, you're just not feeling it in that particular moment, who gives a shit? It's nobody's business but yours why you don't like that comic. Don't buy it. If you don't like it, for whatever reason, and every single reason, 100% of the reasons are valid because it is your money. And that's hard to kind of wrap your head around, but it's freeing if you think about it. It is your business and only your business why you don't buy that comic. It could be a stupid reason. Doesn't matter. It's your money. It could be a racist reason. Again, you're the one who has to live with it. Still your business. If you look at a comic, you're like, not enough white people on this cover, and you're like, I'm not going to buy it. Okay, I think that's dumb, and you've got issues that you have to deal with, but it's still your money. You do you. Only you get to decide how you spend your money, and there is zero shame in it. The only shame I think that comes in is if you are spending your money and then you're coming on. I mean, look, bluntly, you sound like a psycho. If your take is, I hate these comics and I just live for pain and suffering, dude, what, you got problems. And I know some of you, again, are exaggerating when you state these opinions on the message board, but please, Dad Perch is here to tell you, you sound nuts. You sound super, super nuts. Now, that may be okay with you. Again, you get to behave how you want to behave, but my God, you sound like a lunatic if that's your take. Look, I don't know why, and I admit this is maybe a character flaw. It's fine. I don't want to see you unhappy. I know that's weird. Why should I care? But I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you miserable, and it actually does bug me when I see you. I see people being pissed off. It actually does. It impacts me. I don't want to see you mad. So I'd like you not to be. I mean, everybody, of course, is mad at different times, and your emotions are your own business and all the rest, but wrapping your happiness around if these big corporations live or die, just stop supporting them. Thanks for listening.